Do you ever just feel overwhelmed, exhausted, just kind of done and ready to give up and hibernate? I'm feeling that way. And I shared about it the other day in this video right up here, but today I want to talk a little bit more about how I think this calling to live more seasonally and to take winter to be a time of hibernation, of rest, of rejuvenation. I think it's really important, and I think it's something our world is really missing today. And so I'm calling it, I'm giving up, I'm gonna hibernate, and you can come join me. Hey friends, I'm Heidi, the Heavenly Minded Homemaker, and I don't know if it's just how cold it's been. I don't know if it's just the exhaustion that has really set in since going through Hurricane Helene here in Western North Carolina. I don't know what exactly it is, but that just need to rest, to recharge, to be able to feel more whole again, I guess, is something that's really been weighing on me. And I shared about it the other day, and so many of you responded. You were like, yep, sign me up, I'm right there. So hello, welcome. That's what this is for. I think the more that I've really just been kind of prayerfully thinking through this topic, the benefit of living seasonally is one that I know our family has noticed since we've lived out in the mountains and kind of disconnected from like the status quo of life and started homesteading and caring for animals and just like doing these more natural type living things. The more and more that we just really saw God's perfect plan, right? In everything in life, there is a season, and the more that we connect with God's created world around us, we see in nature, this just seasonal rotation. And I think that due to our modern ways, we don't really have that anymore, right? We have indoor lighting so we can stay up later, right? We have screens that can glow for forever, and so it disrupts our sleep, and we get distracted and we keep pouring into it. And we have indoor heating and cooling systems so you can be just as productive in the summer as you can in the winter, and all of this keeps going. And I think that just continual disruption of a natural system really does start to affect us. And again, like I said, maybe it's just everything piled up and I hit my breaking point. I don't know. But I've been thinking about it, and we've all kind of been talking. There's 14 of us that live here on the property, and we've been trying to repair and rebuild since the hurricane, and we have so much left to still do. And of course, everything cost $1 bajillion, and now everything is frozen and it's cold and it's miserable and it's getting covered in snow and ice. And then by the time it melts, it's just a muddy mess, and then it all freezes again. And, it was kind of just one of those things where it kept piling up and piling up and piling up. And we said, I just want to hibernate. I just want to hibernate. I'm done. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. And so that's where I am saying, I'm going to give up and I'm going to hibernate. Now, maybe you should join me. If you think this could help, if you're feeling this too, leave me a comment down below. Let me know, yes, I'm tired, I'm done. I don't know if this is going to last for a week. I don't know if it's going to last for a month. I don't know if it's going to last till the end of winter. But I think that there are a lot of benefits of living seasonally that we're missing. And I think it can really start here in the winter with this time of rest. And I think it is really neat because when you look biblically, spring is the biblical new year, and it just makes so much more sense. And for so long, spring was the new year of kind of the modern calendar of the time. And so I think that just makes so much more sense because you hit springtime, and I know here in North Carolina, we have all 4 seasons very distinctly, but pretty mild. It's pretty wonderful. But spring comes and the flowers start blooming and the days get warmer, and you want to open up all the windows and do all of the things. But right now we're not there. Right now it is incredibly cold. Everything is dead and frozen, and it just, you don't have that motivation. And so I'm like, you know what? I think it's time to start understanding the natural rhythm of life a little more. If spring is this time of rebirth and just rejuvenation and everything is coming to life, and you just, you want to open up the windows, you want to start cleaning things, you want to start moving things, you want to start doing all of this, then that means right now is that time to really hibernate, to really draw in, to reflect, to recharge. And I think it's fascinating, you see, of course, so many biblical examples of this. Obviously, we know the Lord even rested, right? We go to the creation account of the Lord working, and on the seventh day he rested, and we see him institute the Sabbath for his people. And to see this, it wasn't just every 7 days, but every 7 years. And, you go through this whole process of what true Sabbath is. And we know that the Old Testament Sabbath was merely a shadow of the Sabbath of Christ to come. And, there's so much wonderful study in that. And then we see, Ecclesiastes, we see Solomon, the wisest man to ever live before Christ. He talks about the timing of seasons and the different seasons of life, and there being a purpose and a reason for everyone. And I think that we've kind of lost sight of that in our modern world, where again, we have everything kind of controlled in a system, be it, lighting or heating or whatever it might be. We can go to the grocery store and get every meal. We don't eat seasonally anymore. We have all of these disturbances. But I think that when we start to look at this from a seasonal aspect, a seasonal approach, there's really great benefit in that. And so you look at how just the design of the winter months are. Well, they're colder. Regardless of where you live, you're probably experiencing cooler than normal temperatures, even if you're not completely frozen up here in the mountains like we are. We get shorter days, right? They get dark really early. I love it. We live in a small town, and by the time the sun goes down, there's like nobody out on the road, right? Like everything closes, nothing's open. And I love it. I love that it's like, hey, when the sun goes down, we're out. I know for our family, we started years and years ago really getting rid of most of the overhead lights in our house and only having lamps and allowing it to kind of just get darker inside when it's getting darker outside, allowing that natural daily rhythm to really come in and affect us. And so I think when we're dealing with the overwhelm and the exhaustion of life, many of us we're run down. It doesn't mean that you had to have experienced some, massive, natural disaster or something like that. You're probably feeling a little run down. We have years where from start to finish, 365 days, it's just go. Where's the rest? Where's the restoration? And I think regardless of what tax bracket you're in, right, whatever it might be, there are ways that you can start to find those bits of hibernation and rest in your day-to-day life. And if this is something that's speaking to you, that you're like, yes, like I see that there is a natural need for rest. There is a natural rhythm of season, that kind of leaning into the seasonal approach where winter is more restful. Spring is, kind of that burst of energy to finally go forth because you've just come from this period of hibernation. Summer is a season of abundance, right? You have really long days, you have warmer weather, you have all that sunshine to soak up, and there's just so much busyness to really soak up in the summer months. And then autumn comes around, and it's that time to really kind of reap the harvest and kind of wind up and prepare for that time of hibernation all over again. And when we start to look at the seasonal cycle, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel exhausting. It feels very peaceful. It feels very whole and complete. And again, we look to scripture, we look to God's original design. Of course, it makes sense when you see that. And so if leaning into that and really looking and going, wow, some time of just winter rest, looking at things more seasonally versus just go, run, overwhelm, trying to keep up with the Joneses and do all of the things, I could use some rest. I could use some recharging. I want to feel rejuvenated and whole and not just barely hanging on by a thread. That's something that would be helpful for you. Come over and join me. I'm going to lay out 3 simple steps that any of us can take today to start finding that rest and rejuvenation. Click right here, and I'll see you over there.